We're now going to look at the Equations tab. This is the 5th tab along, Equations, and let's start with just balancing only. So in this, you will be given the correct formulae, and you just have to balance the equation by putting numbers in for what we call these coefficients. So you put the numbers in to balance the equation. As this page comes up, there's a table here that you can just regard as a piece of rough working, rough paper. So just online rough working, you can put in the symbols of the different elements, etc., and count up the number of atoms on each side. So there's one EV on the left, one on the right at the moment, etc. One CU on the left, one CU on the right, two on the left, two N's on the left, two N's on the right, and oxygens, there are 6 on the left and 6 on the right. So that tells us that the equation is balanced. So we don't need to put anything in these. If there's no number put in the box, then the number is 1. So we submit the answer, and it tells us it's balanced. You can go into a different mode of working if you're finding this tricky. You can get the page to count the atoms for you. So let's do that. We put get help with balancing, and we can see that it's filled in that table for us. And then as we adjust things, it will update. So if I put a 2 in front there, you can see that the table has now updated, and we can see that it is a balanced equation. So I will press submit the answer. However, this time we've only got 1 mark for the balancing because we got help. You get 2 marks if you do it without help. Okay, here's another question then. You can write any multiple of an equation that you wish. So I would normally write here 6H2O. 6H2O, have one of those, and have 6H3PO4, or 4H3PO4 rather. So normally it would be 614. I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to quarter everything. So I'll say it's 0.25. I said that was, so a quarter of 6 is 1.5. And a quarter here, 0.25. Just one of those. It'll be one of those. It will be 0.25 again. No, that will be one of those. So it was just one of those, and if we submit that, if that's correct, it should accept that. So any multiple of a balanced equation is a balanced equation, and the website will recognize that. You wouldn't normally balance that equation in that particular way, but it's perfectly acceptable. Okay, so that's the balancing equations. Then we come on to writing full equations. There's 2 pages on this. One, they're very similar. The first one is just simpler equations, whereas so we just picked out the ones which would be easier to balance. I'm going to go onto the second one. It's the same idea on both pages. So this will be the simple and harder ones. I don't know whether this is simpler or harder. And actually, we talked about the levels of the ions that you might need to use. So I'm on the beginner level at the moment. But you can also choose which topics you want to practice equations on. So at the moment, I'd probably chosen everything, but I could decide I just want to do reactions involving acids. And now it will just give equations at the beginner level with reactions involving acids. So MgO, HCl. Now I've got the capitalization wrong. That you'll see if the answer is not correct, then the box will remain. You'll notice when I get this correct, so when I get a capital C and a small l, it will I'm going to press the small l, and the input box will disappear, and we'll get the formula correct. So you don't need to enter anything here when you're writing in the formula. And then magnesium chloride is MgCl. Now we need to get the formatting correctly. We looked at the formatting of these on the formulae tab. It's going to be subscript 2 and then H2O for water. Subscript. You can use. You can click on the button there, or you can use the keyboard shortcut. And I didn't have the right formatting. And now we need to balance this equation. If I put the balancing wrong, so let's do that. So that this is not balanced, I don't think. I get a message saying I can have another go if I want to, or I can just choose to skip that. I don't think these message boxes are recording on the video, but they are. They should come up on your screen. So I'm going to press OK to cancel that, and it'll start again, and this time it's going to be 2HCl and H2O. Submit the answer, and this time it's correct, and what we've written appears down at the bottom here, and with the markings. We've got the reactant formulae correct, the product formulae correct, and we've done the balancing without using the help with balancing, which you can get help with balancing if you want to. And these come up, and this is a sort of lucky dip of equations. They appear in random order based on the topics that you have selected. So just remember, you can change the topics to any of these, any combination of these that suits you. So that's the equations, and then we come on to ionic equations. Now on the equations help page, I explain what this website expects you to do for ionic equations. You will come across different ideas of what an ionic equation can be, depending on which book you read. But this site, I think, follows quite strict rules, which, if you follow them, you should not be penalized at any time. Ionic equations: if sulfuric acid is reacted with lithium carbonate solution, making lithium sulfate, water, and carbon dioxide. So the answer for here is it's going to be the hydrogen ions from the acid reacting with carbonate ions. It doesn't matter which order you put things in, as long as you've got your reactants and products on the right side. So let's put carbonate ions first. CO, and it's a subscript for the 3, and a superscript for the 2 minus. And when this is correct, you should see it enter into the box. The box disappears. You need to put the state symbol in, AQ. State symbols are required. Reacting with hydrogen ions. So H superscript. Again, that is AQ. And it's going to make water and carbon dioxide. So H to O is a liquid, L, and carbon dioxide. The box doesn't disappear until you've got the formula or state entered correctly. And then we've got to balance it. It again follows these the rules we had before. If you get it wrong, you do get another chance to balance it. So it's 2 there. Submit the answer. Get a message saying that's correct, which probably doesn't appear on the video. And then at the bottom, we've got the equation written out as we had before. So there we go. My advice with ionic equations very strongly when you start doing this is that you do it one topic at a time. Don't try doing all the topics. So if you're doing metal displacement reactions, just write ionic equations for metal displacement reactions. If you're doing halogen displacement reactions, just do those, or if you're doing precipitation reactions, just do those. And then at a later stage, you can start mixing things up a bit. Right, good luck with shelleychemey. That's the last of these videos. That is, ionic equations is a high-level skill. I think this will be useful for students starting year 12 as well. Good luck in all your studies.